they leave, they leave. So this is a message to all the youth out there who are involved in these kind of activities. From us believers, the kids on the block call me now, from an OG. The purpose of what you're doing is not to get caught. And y'all should be ashamed of yourself for making all these police about to lose their job, because there ain't gonna be no detectives, because this is called telling on yourself. Now for all of you people running around there worried about who's snitching and not snitching, all you niggas on Instagram and Facebook telling what did you selling dope, you snitching. You're snitching on you and everybody you know. It used to be, the point of the exercise was not to get caught. Only people I wanted to know who was hustling was other people hustling. Because if everybody know I'm hustling, I'm gonna get caught. So I don't know, Miles. This is quite disturbing. That people is that attention. You know, this go back to Lou. This go back to kindergarten. These niggas needed more hugs because they didn't get enough attention, and they willing to do 20 years to get some attention. And in the midst of it is given the traditional term of a hustler a very bad name. This whole YouTube, Facebook, Instagram thing is all distorted. Somehow we now live in a world where if I can rap, if I can flow, and I can spit a few bars, then I can hustle. No, nigga, use a rapper, you're not a hustler. And on the flip side, just because you're good at moving the bag and you know how to run your block, that don't mean you can rap. Those two things, it never, back in the day, no one thought like that. And I'm not one of them people, but it ain't just me. It's a lot of brothers who've been around the block that's online who can tell the truth. The industry, man, and because it's like WWE, they create these images for these entertainers, but it's damaging. It is, all jokes aside, it's very damaging to our communities because the kids think that to be an entertainer, to be a rapper, to get some street cred, you gotta go, try to hustle and move a bag. But that ain't what you do. That's a whole different world. That's a different skill set. You shouldn't do that. You should practice your music trade and be good with it. Biggie wasn't no gangster. That was an image they created. It's the truth of it. Tupac wasn't no gangster thug life. That's what got him killed. It's all out now. I was telling you, I ain't gonna say I never met the man, but back in the day, we knew your man Pete Nice from Third Base, right? Mm-hmm. And it was a council. Third Base was touring with Ice-T, Digital Underground, Queen Latifah. And, my man JC that went to school with Pete, who later, they knew Third Base Prime Minister Pete Nice. And after the show, so Pete let us know that he was coming to town. We go to the concert, Pete backstage, and the guys from Shaka and Tupac come in from Digital Underground. Now Pete introduced us to him real quick. And at the time, Digital Underground was hot, but nobody knew Tupac was gonna blow up like that. But this guy was talking about taking 6-packs of Heineken's out the refrigerator and taking iced teas, ham sandwiches to ride on the bus. Now a couple years later, we looking at it as all this thug life stuff. That's not who that guy was, man. And that's that imaging. But then it get took serious. And people get all gassed up and they get out their lane and they get involved in these streets. And that shit is serious. People be dying and going to jail. You come up and, Pop's over there eating us. He'd lose track of how many he was seeing go to jail and die when they get out of their lane. So, I'm laughing and joking about it. But, it's kind of we need to really re-examine this whole thing, because now you a gangbanger, you on YouTube. Well, that's fine, you're a gangbanger, but you're not a hustler, you're not a dope dealer. You're not trying to enrich yourself, you're not trying to enrich your community. A lot of you niggas are psychopaths because you just like killing, hurting people. And for a few clicks on YouTube, you got people who will sell their soul and interview you and try to glorify the fact that you so lost and got such a fucked up value system that's somehow going around killing people and hurting people for no reason. And then don't get through in the same bunch as us hustlers who people who's trying to actually get some money to improve themselves and do something for the next generation. So you done got me to get emotional, Louis, because it's tragic. And on that note, though, to a real one, salute to Little Melvin and his family. Those who don't know, I think his book was called Fruit from the Forbidden Tree. He was a big shot back in Pop's era. I think Pop's actually did some time with some of his crew. Little Melvin was out of Baltimore, but he was a hustler. You know, world-class gambler. He did his thing, moving the bag. But he was all about trying to, do something for the community in Baltimore after he did his time. He spent the rest of his time trying to really help the kids, cut down on unnecessary violence. He was into squashing beefs. That's what bosses really try to do. That's what real hustlers try to do. They don't look to encourage violence. They look, because that does happen in the streets, but that's last case scenario. So big shout out to Little Melvin, may he rest in peace. People need to profile that. That's what a real hustler is. That's what a real player was. That's what a real boss is. But it's lunch here. I'm gonna go eat.